Salbona, baby! Chef Will here. Today, we are making a classic French dish, steak à poivre. All right? The lesson I want you to get today is salting. All right? So, we're gonna work with a sirloin here. You wanna salt your meat first. Salt adds more than just flavor. It restructures the protein and actually draws moisture into your steak, chicken, or even turkey. All right, and the longer you can do it, the better. So I'm gonna generously put some salt on this, generously, all right, both sides. And if you can do this an hour before or 2 hours before, it's wonderful, all right? So that's salted. So I'm actually gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it set for about an hour before I start. All right, so I'm back. So while we wait on our steak, what I'm gonna do is dice up my shallots and get all my other mise en place together. As you can see is I have my Dijon mustard, I have my black peppercorns, butter, always better, cognac, heavy cream, beef stock, oil. And I'm gonna add some garlic to it. Just wanna put an edge on this. Watch that finger. Peel the skin off. You don't want any skin in your sauce. So we're taking that off like that. Again, this is part of your mise en place. And mise en place means to get everything in order, literally in French. So that means all your ingredients, all of your equipment, that's your mise en place before you get started, all right? So since we're just doing one steak, we only need one. So what I'm gonna do first is, again, I got my fingers curled, chef knife up against my fingers, and I'm gonna put essentially strips into my shallot, straight across. Then I'm gonna come across the strips in order to make a dice. See, I'm using the back of my knife, essentially the heel of the knife. All right, boom. Dice, I'm just gonna chop it up a little more. By the way, I love shallots. So those are my shallots. Let's put those to the side. I don't need those. We don't need that. Garlic, all right? Using the heel of my knife, flatten it, take out the husk, flatten it, and the husk comes off very easily. All right? Again, curling my fingers so I won't cut them. And I'm gonna chop these up, and you notice how I chop them. Hand here so I can see my fingers at all times, because if you cut your fingers, you get blood on the food, you have to throw the food away. That's your food cost. Don't cut your fingers, people. Oh, also you cut your fingers, you may need stitches. Very careful. All right, dice garlic. I'm ready for that, okay? Next, what I wanna do is, I just wanna grind up crush my black peppercorn some more. So right now I have partially crushed. You see I have the whole peppercorns here like this. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna put them in my mortar and pestle, or if you don't want it too fine, because when we brown our steak, it'll burn. So I still want it to be a coarse peppercorn so it doesn't burn in the pan. That should give us what we want, all right? There we go. Excellent. All right, so that's ready to go. Get that. Now, our steak has been in the refrigerator for about an hour now. We're gonna start the sear. This is a very quick dish, all right? Technique, salting. 2 hours before, so the salt brings moisture to your steak. Also, it adds to the brownness. When we sear it in the pan, it's gonna add to the brownness. That's called Maillard. That's gonna add nice flavor to it as well. Okay, the other thing I want you to get here is just pan searing, little oil, high heat. You have control over that, all right? And then again, I want you to remember to curl your fingers when we're cutting, all right? So you don't cut your finger. This right here, you'll cut that off. Disaster. So let's get that steak cooking. Voila, steak ready to go. Cast iron pan, one of my favorite pans to do steak au poivre in. It holds the heat nice and thick. Just like life, sometimes you gotta be able to hold the heat, that pressure, in order for you to become that diamond, okay? Diamond's not built in a day. It takes time, people. It takes a little pressure. All right. Also, you wanna pat your steak dry, okay? Because if it's too much moisture, you're actually steaming the steak, not causing nice brown crispiness. You're not searing. We want to sear. Okay. Dry that off. Peppercorns. Those on, you want to press those down. Now I'm going to show you another technique you can use on the other side. So if I turn it over, right, you can brush your Dijon mustard on your steak like this. Then you add your peppercorns. Voila, just like that, all right? Press them down, that's ready to go, okay? Now I'm gonna add my oil to the pan. Yes. See, that's hot. All right. I'm going to turn that heat up. All right. Okay, I'm going to put my steak in. All right. So this first side I want to cook 3 to 4 minutes so it gets nice and brown. That's why I'm keeping that heat high, so I can get a nice Maillard or Maillard, or depends on what country you're from, but that just means a browning, and that's gonna add taste, flavor, gonna give you so much more for your steak. Sure, right here in the middle, that is getting nice and brown. Don't be afraid. Okay. Just like you, this has a lot of flavor. Okay. All right, so our steak has been cooking on one side for 3 to 4 minutes. Now we're gonna turn it over. Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, we got that nice browning there. So I'm gonna just push this middle down some more because I really wanted to get a lot browner than what it is. Yes, yes. Remember, salt your meat for about 1 hour. A lot of salt, both sides. The salt penetrates your protein. Adding more moisture at this time also adds to the browning. Also browning, what? Maillard. Maillard. Depending on which country you're from, that's your browning. That's gonna give you more flavor. Again, I like putting the mustard on, then my peppercorns, because they stick better. So we're gonna cook it on this side for about 3 minutes. All right. Remember, you control the heat. Cast iron pans, they hold a lot of heat, so you probably want to turn it down if it's smoking, or put on your exhaust. All right. I like my meat medium rare as well. You might like yours medium. So you definitely want to turn your heat down once you sear it. All right. So we're gonna let that cook. We got everything in place. Let's get us a plate. Like I said, I like mine medium rare. Taking that out and just letting it relax. While we do that, I'm gonna turn my heat down and we're gonna do another technique. So all of this right here, all of these bits, that's flavor, all right? So I turn my heat all the way down. All right, I'm scraping it on. I wanna deglaze the pan. So deglazing, what it's gonna do is gonna release those bits from the bottom. But since I'm using alcohol, I'm gonna turn my flame off, put my alcohol in, scrape the bottom to get all those bits. All right, then I'm gonna add my garlic and my shallot. Okay, turn my flame back on. Again, cast iron holds a lot of heat, so I'm still good. Gonna toss that around, stir that up. Oh, it's smelling good already, people. Woo. All right, so you want to let the garlic and your shallots caramelize just a bit. All right, letting that cook just a little bit more. Then I'm adding some Dijon mustard. Beef stock, not all of it, okay? When to turn our flame up, we want to make sure your flame is really high because we want to let this reduce. So I've got all the good bits on the bottom. Now some heavy cream. Fat is always good. All right. Now, about 3 minutes or so, this is going to reduce down. It's going to give you a lot of flavor. All right. Then what I'm going to do is add the steak back just for a little bit. Put it on the plate to relax. All right, and let the sauce reduce. All right, while we're waiting on that, we don't need these things. Okay, our sauce has been reducing for about 3 minutes. I know you thought it was long, but it's not long, people. Just like in life, when you want to accomplish something, it takes a little time. Be patient with the process. Trust the process. Oh, it's reducing. I'm going to add my steak to that. Ooh. Yummy. Put that on my cutting board. Now, you can serve it whole or you can slice it for your guests or yourself. I think I'm gonna slice it. We'd like to see what it looks like inside. Oh, it's nice and tender and juicy, people. Oh, that's excellent. Remember, confidence in cooking, it's not a one-time sport. You gotta put your reps in if you wanna become great. All right, so we're just gonna plate that up. Ooh, that looks yummy. Nice. With some well-seasoned mashed potatoes or some nice, good fries, all right? With some proper seasonings. That's it, steak au poivre. Remember, Chef Will here. Thank you for joining us on the journey. If you want to build confidence in the kitchen, you got to put in your reps. Make sure you subscribe, people. Until next time.